joined by the Hofstra contingent following the 17-10 win over Delaware. Coach, your thoughts on today's victory?
Yeah, I'm obviously, after a performance like that against a team like that, as a coach, I'm happy. I don't say that very often because you always pick on things, and eventually, as we get through this interview, there'll be a few things that I do pick on that I thought we could have done better. We talked about a bunch of things. We talked a little bit about that TNT, the stuff that takes no talent, and there were times where I thought we could have done a better job. But what these guys to my right, to my left, and below in the locker room, what they did today, that Delaware team, it was the #1 team in the country facing off, and Cole Meyer and Benny Niesman, they just went toe to toe. Stats wise, they got us on the stats. I'm totally okay with that. We competed every face-off, and we won the ones that we needed to win, and it was awesome. And then, to be honest, and then our wing play, we have to talk about our wing play. Those guys did a really good job. And then this guy had 17 saves against a team that had 53 53 shots. He was a backup goalie last year, and is making the most of his opportunity right now, and I'm awfully proud of him. He gets upset. I think there was a couple that he'd like to have back, but they have a couple of big, strong athletes, and they've got some talented players that let the ball go. And he saw some rubber today, and he stood tall. So awfully proud of what the Hofstra men's lacrosse program did today.
Then first half, I think the face-offs were even. How were you able to have so much success against him there?
I think it was just this whole week leading up. It's everyone in that face-off room. It's Cole, it's Owen, it's JT, it's Coach T. Everything we did, we had a plan, we went in with it, and we just stuck with it because it was working.
And that first face-off, when you guys score 8 seconds into the game, how much does that just change everything in the game?
The momentum just starts from there. After that, it's just like an avalanche, and everything keeps going.
Yeah, it's a great, Stephen, before you go further, the word confidence comes into play, and when you can steal a little confidence 8 seconds into the game, and win a face-off and go down and make the pass to the point man, and John Madsen put one in a coffee can, there was a little bit of an exhale and a little bit of, okay, here we go, so I'm really proud of those guys.
Shay, at what point in the game you're making a couple point-blank saves in there? At what point do you know you're kind of feeling it today?
Honestly, when it was 4-1, and defense was like lights out, no hands-free shots, seeing shots that I want to see. We talk about it all the time in practice, not letting shooters shoot where they want, but shooting where the goalies want to see the shots. So the defense did an unbelievable job at forcing them down the alleys and just making them shoot shots they don't want to shoot, and it was up from there.
Seth, we could obviously talk about your normal offensive talents, but Chris Barry, Ryan Kiernan, Will Delaney, talk about those guys getting in the scoring column. How have they kind of changed the game today?
Yeah, I will tell you that just the confidence that those guys had to take those shots, right? They don't shoot a ton in practice because they're down the other end. But I was so happy with the poise of Chris Barry, where he was on the field to receive those passes and to do what he did. Will Delaney to hit a 55-yarder because this team was 10-manning, and he turned and he didn't think about it. He just did it for Will Delaney. Unbelievable. Ryan Kiernan, just straight up poise, and again in a game that has been very. This was a big game for both teams. For our guys to play with that confidence and that poise. I'm awfully proud, knowing that we've got a lot to go, but I'm awfully proud today.
As you know, the schedule doesn't offer a lot of conference games. You're now 3-0. How do you kind of process today being 3-0 heading into next week, another big game?
Yeah, you just never know. And you being by my side for all these years, the last couple have been heartbreaking because of tie-breaking losses. And, when you can get a couple of these wins against teams that you could be in a tiebreaker with, it gives you a little bit of confidence. We know that we're in the meat of it right now. I mean, it doesn't get any easier. I recently just heard that Stony Brook in overtime beat Fairfield, right? So that's a huge win for Stony Brook, and we're thankful that we got that win a couple weeks ago. We see Fairfield now; they're going to be angry, and now we've got to prepare for a very talented team that's highly ranked, to 14, 13 in the country. So we've got our work cut out for us this week. And again, we're just going to take the season in segments. We're going to enjoy this one for a little bit, and we're going to get angry again on Monday and try to get that edge back.
Coach, your team played a pretty clean game throughout all 4 quarters. I mean, you won the turnover battle in every quarter except for that 4th quarter. Can you speak on how that helped really forge the offense into 17 goals?
Yeah, so I mean, with us having only 9 turnovers, and again, we'll relook at the film, but for us to have 9 turnovers against a team that's pretty aggressive and long and pretty quick, right? So they're getting after us, and we just had poise as we were running full speed away or at or around people, and that part of it was great. There was a couple of them. We failed cleared early in the game, and that upset me. There was a time they took the ball away from one of our players. That upset me. There was a couple that I thought that Shea could have had, but we also did a good job because their face-off guy scored, and we would rather him shoot it than their sharpshooters in attack. And I think that one of their poles scored. And again, it's really hard to save a shot from the pole because of the trajectory of it. So we'll see.
Coach, just final question today, Army Ranger Lead the Way Foundation.
Right here, Steve.
If you talk about that and what that means to the program.
So the Regan family, they're just wonderful people, and they'll lead the way for us, for them to contact us, and it was a no-brainer for us to support their corporation and their mission. Jimmy Regan, I mean, off the charts person, even better player, and even better than that as a soldier and who protected our country. Their family, it doesn't get better than the Regan family and the Lead the Way Foundation. And we are so thankful to be able to show them some support today by wearing their shirts and playing for Jimmy today and the Regan family. It was awfully special for me, who knows the Regan family, and for our guys who have read about him and the story. I think Jimmy would be proud of our effort today.
Thank you, Coach.
Okay.